Good morning, all of you. Myself, Parminder. As you know that I am your SST teacher. Dear student, I hope you all are fine and safe at home. Dear students, we have completed our 3 chapters of SST in our live classes. Students, today we will start our 4th chapter, Responsibilities of a Good Citizen, part 1st. Beta, open your chapter number 4 on page number 33. Now, start with the chapter Introduction to Civics. The word civics is based on Latin word civicus, which means of a citizen. So, beta, this word civics, it is taken from the Latin word civicus, and meaning of civicus is of a citizen, means it is related to a citizen. Civics is the study of the rights and duties of a citizenship, means it is study of the rights and duties of a citizen. What are the rights and duties of citizen, along with the working of various institutions of government, and these rights and duties are related to the working of different institutions of the government. As we can say that the offices of the various ministers, and we can say our political system, so these all institutions are related to the government. In other words, civics touches the political and practical aspects of citizenship. And students, in other words, we can say that this civics, it is related to the political system and the practical aspects of citizenship. It also teaches us the importance of being active citizen in the community. And civics also tell us how we are important as an active citizen in the community. What is our importance in the community? It also helps us to understand our role as a member of a society. And it also tells us what is our role. What is the role of a citizen in a society? It makes us aware of the value of mutual cooperation and coexistence. And students, this is the civics only which makes us aware, which make us understand what we are and what are the value of mutual cooperation, means how we can cooperate with the others members of the society. As citizens of country, civic makes us aware of our right and duties. And as we are the citizen of a country, civics only make us aware what are our duties and rights, what we can do for our society and for our country. It also specifies that the rights granted by the government of a country always come with responsibilities. And it also tells us that the rights that are given by the government of a country, these rights are having some responsibilities also, means some particular duties also. In our constitution, 6 fundamental rights and 11 fundamental duties have been mentioned. So dear students, there are 6 fundamental rights, means main rights, and fundamental duties, basic rights and basic duties that are mentioned in our constitution. Taken together, their main objective is to holistically develop the citizens of the India or country, we can say. Taken together means what? Taken together, these rights and duties, if we will take it together, there are some objectives of these duties and rights, that is the whole development of the citizen of India. These rights and duties help in the whole development of the citizens of a country or India. Thus, the study of civics is very important. So like this, we can say that the study of civics is very important for the all-round development of the citizens. Study of civics is very important. It tells us about our rights and duties and what we can do for our country. It tells us the rights and duties are not only reconcilable but also inseparable. So students, civics tells us that the rights and duties are not only reconcilable, means these are not only adjustable. These only don't tell us that how we can adjust in the society, but also inseparable, means these rights and duties tells us that we all the citizens of a country of India are united. We are not separate from each other. We all are having same rights. Civics nourishes and promotes the democratic values among the citizens. And students, this subject civics, it nourishes and promotes the democratic values among the citizens. Means it tells us about our democratic values. What are the values of a democratic country and what citizens of a country can do. It nourishes that values. It ensures that for every right there is a corresponding duty, and it tells us that every right are having some similar duties related to these rights. Next topic students, definition of civics. Civics is the science of citizenship. So civics is called the science of citizenship. Citizen related to, we can say that citizen Nagrik. Okay students, citizen means Nagrik. So this is called the science of citizenship. Civics is called the science of citizenship. It is the study of the ways in which a society organizes and operates a state. And students, it is the study of the way, which way, by which a society organizes, by which a society built and operates a state, and how it make a state, how it deal with a state. It also comprises the study of civil law, means that law are given to the citizens, civil code, and the structure of the government. And it is including that some particular law, codes, and the structure of government, means how the government is formed. Formation of government is also including in the civics. Now come to the next topic, civic sense and its significance. Now see what is the civic sense. Civic sense is a comprehensive concept. We can say that it is a particular concept. It is also termed as social ethics. Social ethics, we can say that students, social morality. It is related to social morality. What are our moral values, how we can deal with the members of the society. In other words, we can say that concept of civic sense is a set of moral and social principles. And in other words students, we can say this concept of civic sense, it is a set of moral and social principles, means it is related to moral values and social principles, how we can deal with the society, how we can show our morality, how we can show our moral values. These all things are related to the civic sense. Now turn your page students. The first lesson of civic sense starts from one's home. So this first lesson of sociality and morality, means civic sense, it starts from one's home. How it starts from one's home? Because students, one example I can give, these all things we learn from our family first. How our parents do, how they are behaving, we follow that only. So like this we can say that this first lesson of civic sense starts from one's home, because we and smaller children mainly they follow their parents and their elders. Like this we can say that this lesson of civic sense starts from one's home. Family is the primary group of society. And students, family is the primary, means first group of the society. It is characterized by intimate face-to-face association and cooperation. And it is means main characteristics, main qualities of a family, we can say that these are closely intimate, means closely face-to-face association. These forms the association, and cooperation means how we can cooperate with other, how we can help the others. It is the most multifarious institution, and family is the multifarious means various types of institution. It tells us the various moral values. It is also the most important socializing agency, and family is the most important socializing agency from which we know how we can deal with the society. It motivates children to adopt good civic habit, mannerism and etiquette. And student, our family members, our elders only tell us how we can adopt or follow the good civic habit and good manners, and how we can maintain the decorum in the society or in our family. Children need to be taught civic sense from the very beginning, means from the childhood they need to be taught the civic sense. Civic sense like good habits, manners and good etiquette. Only our parents, our elders can teach this. If they are not teaching these good things, we cannot follow the good habits. We cannot behave well with the other members of the society. So dear students, we should follow the good manners and good habits, and also we should tell our younger ones how they can behave with the others. If a child learns to maintain cleanliness at home, one example is given here. If a child, if he is following the rules of cleanliness at home, the same child will follow the general rules of cleanliness outside home as well. So dear student, if you are following these rules of cleanliness at your home, then only you can do it outside the home as well. If you are not following these rules of cleanliness at your home, if you are just making your home untidy, you are throwing garbage here and there, wrappers here and there, you are not keeping the things on their places, so you cannot do it outside the home if you are not doing it at the home. So students, you should follow these all good habits, all general rules of the cleanliness. Our school is a significant center of learning lessons of the civic sense. And after our family, second one is our school, where we can learn the good habits and civic sense. That's why school is a significant center of learning lessons of civic sense. Here we learn about the basic qualities of tolerance, adjustment and mutual cooperation. And students, in school we can learn the basic qualities of tolerance. Means if anybody is saying us something, so we should tolerate that. We should not get angry with that. And adjustment, how we can adjust with the other students in our class and in school. And mutual cooperation, how we can help other students. So these all things we learn from our school. Lack of civic sense give a shabby look to our surroundings. And students, if we are not having these manners and habits, good habits and civic sense, if we are lacking this civic sense, this give a shabby means bad look, dirty look to our surroundings. So dear students, we should follow these good habits and civic sense. Civic sense is the way of walking, talking and behaving in the society. And these good habits, good manners, these are the way of how we walk, how we talk and how we are behaving in the society. It is a mirror of our society, means it reflects our personality, what type of children we are, what type of students we are. If we are behaving good with others, then other people, what they will say, that is a very good boy or girl, If we are not behaving well with them, what they will say? Ill-mannered students they are, ill-mannered children they are. So if we adhere to the norms of civic sense, our society would become livable. It will also shine the future of the country. So dear students, if we are believing in these norms of civic sense, means in these habits of civic sense, our society would become livable. We can live in the society. Otherwise, our society will not livable. We cannot adjust with the other people of the society. It will also shine the future of the country. And we, the children, or we, the members or citizens of the country, if we will follow these norms of civic sense, then only the future of our country will shine. It will be brighter. Otherwise, it will not reflect very well. Now come to the next para. We should not sit on the seats reserved for ladies, senior citizens and physically disabled persons in buses, metro trains and trains, etc. And dear students, maybe when you are traveling by bus or trains, maybe all of you have seen on some seats one line is written there, reserved for the senior citizen or physically disabled persons or ladies. Maybe you all have seen that. So students, we should not sit on that seats that are reserved for particular persons. The incident of road rage, parking row and hit and run clearly show lack of civic sense. And students, sometimes when we are walking through a parking row or on road, sometimes some people, what they do, they are just moving here and there and hitting with their legs. So this is not a good habit, students. And they are run clearly to show lack of civic sense, running like this only here and there. So students, we should not do that. We should not move forward out of turn in a queue. And students, if we are standing in a queue, means in a line, we should not move forward out of turn in a queue. We should not break that line. A queue jumper always creates public nuisance as he interferes with the rights of the public by jumping the queue. Student, if we are doing like this, we are a queue jumper, means we are moving forward from the line or we are breaking the lines. So that create always the public nuisance. Public nuisance means that creates a public barricade and obstacles, means that creates so many difficulties, as these difficulties are interfering with the rights of the public by jumping the queue, by breaking the line. So we should not move forward. If we are standing in a line, we should wait for our turn. In the end, we can say that concept of civic sense is an asset to the country, society and community. Students, at last of this para, we can say that this concept of civic sense, means concept of good habits, good manners and etiquettes, it helps to the country, society and the community. It mirrors one's personality as whole. And student, it reflects our personality. It reflects the personality of a person, how he is behaving. It reflects his whole personality, how he is behaving, how he walk and talk, how he is behaving in the society. So dear students, we should follow these all rules of the civic sense. We should not break these rules. We should not just behaving bad with the other person's bad.